From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. I'm Katie Looper, leading our news tonight. The National Federation of the Blind of Alaska held its 2014 state convention in Fairbanks today. The guest keynote speaker was Dr. Mark Maurer, immediate past president of the National Federation of the Blind. Topics range from the blind in the workforce, the blind in getting around town, seniors and blindness, and blind students and youth. Leaders of the organization say the real problem of blindness is not the loss of eyesight, but the misunderstanding and lack of information about it that exists.
Members gather and supporters gather and talk about and learn about issues that are facing and being addressed for people who are blind, visually impaired, or deafblind.
Our basic thought is that blind people have talent, and the trouble is that a lot of people see the blindness and don't see the talent, and we're trying to find ways to express that talent and to encourage people to join with us to make that talent give independent lives to the blind of Alaska as well as to the lives of blind people all over the country.
The Fairbanks Tired Iron Snow Machine Race was started in 2006 as a way to encourage restoration of vintage snow machines. It's a two-day event that happens every February and takes place on the river near Golden Heart Park. It's a nonprofit that strives to educate the public and capture and preserve snow machining history. People from around the world come to participate in the race. Since there are no employees to help run the race, they have found help from a local charity. In exchange, Craig Compo and Dave Weaver have donated $8,500 just this year towards the Presbyterian Hospitality House, a local nonprofit residential treatment program for adolescents. And with this money, they are able to assist their 12 group homes that have helped kids have a safe place to go and 25 foster homes here in Alaska. Ty Tigner from the Presbyterian Hospitality House expressed his gratitude.
Each year, I think they really strive to do a great job with the race, and they've made it a carnival-like atmosphere in February in Alaska and Fairbanks, which is pretty amazing to do. So the river is packed with kids and families, and so it's just a wonderful opportunity for our folks from PHH to get down on the river and participate and help and volunteer. And it's also grown with the Iron Dog race too. So Craig and Dave worked really hard to make sure it's a great event and it helps raise funds for our agency.
We would like to, on behalf of the Fairbanks Tired Iron, after our 9th annual Tired Iron event, we would like to present the Hospitality House with a check for $8,500 for the 2014 Fairbanks Tired Iron.
Today was the 24-hour Comic Day Challenge. This event takes place all over the world, and thousands pull themselves out of bed every year to attend. Here's more. When the clock struck noon, the 24-hour Comics Day Challenge commenced. Here in Fairbanks, the day-long event takes place at the comic shop, but is a worldwide event that thousands are participating in. Jamie Smith of Nuggets is an avid cartoonist that says he enjoys coming to this event.
In general, this would be the 8th year that the Fairbanks community has come together for this annual international in-scope challenge called the 24-Hour Comics. And it was started by a cartoonist by the name of Scott McCloud, who has written kind of one of the Bibles of cartooning. And he issued the challenge back in, what was it, 2009? And the Fairbanks community jumped on board about, this will be the 8th year. And it's an opportunity for people of all different ages, interests, skill levels, talent, to come together. And the goal is to try to create their own 24-page comic within 24 continuous hours.
Artists will stay up all day and night to work on their pieces. Some will even bring sleeping bags to take naps during the challenge. The comic challenge is very relaxed. There are no rules, just guidelines that can be taken with ease. Finishing is only a personal accomplishment, not a requirement in this comic strip challenge. Another artist, Christopher Green, tells us about why he enjoys coming to the event.
it makes a different kind of comic. The focus normally when someone's making a comic is on kind of crafting this work of art. You're trying to kind of chisel away at this vague idea. Maybe there's a tone you want to achieve. Maybe it's some, I don't know, moral issue you want to delve into. And making a 24-hour comic can still contain that, but the focus, it pushes you to do something that's off the cuff and more fun. It's the difference between watching Whose Line Is It Anyway or something, or a film. You have one that's a crafted piece of art where every choice is very intentional and goes to a specific end, where in this other more extemporaneous format, you're making choices and you're kind of finding out what the ends of those choices are after you've made them in this sort of backwards way. And it's an exhilarating process to do that.
The event started Saturday at noon and will finish the following day at noon. It's an all-ages event that you don't have to be an artist to attend. The public is invited to come watch at any time of the day or even night. Reporting from the comic shop, this is Katie Looper. We'll have more when the weekend's only televised newscast returns. Stay with us. Welcome back. Last night was an important night for the many people who gathered inside the Westmark Hotel here in Fairbanks. It was the annual BCDC Gala. We have more now in this report. Last night was the annual Breast Cancer Detection Center Gala. Hundreds of women and men gathered inside the Westmark Hotel to celebrate survivors' awareness and early detection. It was a fundraiser that included dinner, auctions, entertainment, photo ops, a rose ceremony, and a chance to honor the brave cancer survivors.
Tonight we're also joined by breast cancer survivors and those currently fighting this terrible disease.
It's such a difficult journey to go through this, and it really makes you feel very special because you walk in that room and you feel like it's really meant for us and for Joe.
There's so many people there that are supporting not only the survivors, but the people that are going to be diagnosed, and just to have them there for that support. Yeah.
Hundreds of supporters and survivors attended the event, including Ralph Seekins and Governor Sean Parnell, and the night entailed countless ways to give.
They are $50 a piece, and what you're buying with your $50 besides a very pretty box is the chance to win a beautiful gold nugget that's valued at $1,250.
They even have live performances to keep the audience fired up and dancing.
I'm the executive director of Opera Fairbanks, and so this was kind of a fun way to combine a really good cause with getting on stage again after a few years.
In addition to entertainment, they had breast cancer battlers and survivors there to encourage others and to share their personal story.
I really wanted to emphasize community. Breast Cancer Detection Center is a community service, and we all are community, and together we're very strong. And so I really wanted to emphasize my reliance on community for my illness, and also the need for us as a community to come together to help people.
At the end of the night, director of the Breast Cancer Detection Center, Odette Butler, said the event was a major success.
You know, every year I'm amazed at how generous our attendees are. Last year we raised $110,000, and I think we may have surpassed that this year.
Reporting from the Westmark Hotel, this is Katie Looper. It's time once again to focus on another one of the 20 agencies that make up the United Way of the Tanana Valley. This time, News Center 11's Mike Schultz spotlights Access Alaska.
In the Fairbanks area since 1984, the mission of Access Alaska is to encourage and promote the total integration of people who experience a disability and Alaskan seniors to live independently in the community of their choice. Kathy McCarthy is the Director of Independent Living at Access Alaska, and she says funds that she receives from the United Way of the Tanana Valley is utilized in many different ways.
The United Way money that we receive, we use to support consumers with adaptable equipment. We use it to support home modifications for the elderly and for people who need to make their own home accommodations accessible. So good examples are grab bars in the shower. We have money we have put towards adaptable equipment such as toilet risers and walkers and things that people may use because they come to disability for a brief period of time after a stroke or an accident.
I asked Kathy what was her proudest moment with Access Alaska. She was quick to respond to a recent incident.
One of our young consumers, he testified for himself, talking about that Access had taught him the skills to have a job, to get a job, to problem solve at work. He had learned how to pay his bills, balance his books, and pay his taxes. And after extensive medical debt, he has paid it himself and he is debt-free. I am most proud that he has learned on his own what he needed to be independent, to be someone who experiences disability, and to be a vital, important part of our community.
The United Way fundraiser continues all the way into the first part of next year, and all donations stay within the community. Mike Schultz reporting.
Austin Buchanan is coming up next with your local sports action. He has everything that happened last night, including Ice Dogs and the Dog Bowl. Sports is up next. Stay with us.
Welcome, Interior Alaska, to our Saturday Sportscast. Austin Buchanan here. Time to take a look at some sports. Let's go. Well, last night was a big night in Friday night football and college hockey. Joe Cook was there, and he has the recap.
The Wolfpack pulled out all the stops for their seniors as they were recognized on senior night. It was also homecoming as the Wolfpack hosted the Dog Bowl this evening. The Wolfpack needed a win and a Palmer loss to punch their ticket to the playoffs, but the Rail Belt champion, the Lathrop Malamutes, were on a mission to smother the Pack's playoff hopes tonight. The Wolfpack, they would score first, though, with a big play, an 80-yard touchdown run from Joshua Cummings. He was named sophomore Prince tonight. West Valley was up 6-0. Big play by the second leading rusher in the state. Then Lathrop's Travis Phillips with an amazing play. He was almost ripped down by his arm, but somehow he reverses field and he scores from Lathrop on the next possession. And Lathrop would have a 7-6 lead, and they would take that lead into halftime. It looked like Lathrop was going to run away with this one literally. Scotty McKinstry started at quarterback tonight for the injured Glenn Maiden Jr., but he scored on a 55-yard quarterback keeper to start the second half for Lathrop. The Malamutes would go up 20-6. With 3:53 left in the third quarter, but once again, Cummings, he started a West Valley rally. Big 51-yard play. It will go for a touchdown, and it was a 20-12 score at that point to end the third quarter. The comeback continued into the fourth quarter. Sophomore quarterback Zach Lester hits Xavier Jones for a 10-yard scoring strike, pulling West Valley within 20-18 with 5:06 left in the game. But the two-point conversion was ruled no good. On Lathrop's next possession, it looked as if they were going to stick the fork in this one because Lathrop Shaman Tukes, his second rushing touchdown of the game, this one of the 53-yard variety, gave Lathrop a 27-18 lead with 1:31 to go. Tukes was over 100 yards rushing tonight for the Malamutes as well. But the Wolfpack said, hold up. Lester finds Cooks just 14 seconds later for a 55-yard score, and it was just a 27-24 game in favor of the Malamutes with 1:14 left. The Wolfpack would force a Lathrop punt, and the Pack had a chance with 4 seconds left from their own 45. Hail Mary time, but it falls incomplete. No penalties on the play as Lester was trying to hit Sudduth, and Lathrop holds on for a 27-24 victory. It's Lathrop's 7th straight win and back-to-back Dog Bowl victories for the Malamutes tonight.
All thanks to my O-line, the big boys up front, they did their job. Hey, big plays happen when the big boys up front do their job. Our quarterback, we had our backup today because our starting got hurt. Hey, we came out and we played a hard game. West Valley played a hard game. We did what we had to do to win, and that's what we do.
Well, I give it to the rest of the O-line. They had my back. I messed up. They picked me up, and it's just great. My boy Travis right here, always running. I love it. I love it.
I was getting scared a little bit, but we kept our composure and pulled out with a win.
It was great to see the resilience of our team tonight, and no one gave up. We went down swinging, and that's the only thing we can ask from our kids is never to give up.
It's a big momentum, and especially going into the playoffs. We got a big game coming up. Just dagger, hit him in the heart.
The Alaska Nanics faced off against the Western Ontario Mustangs in their first game inside the Carlson Center to start the 2014-2015 season. This game was highly contested, not the blowouts in recent history that the Nanics were used to against the Canadian teams, but Nolan Kaiser with a beautiful pass sets up Nolan Youngman on the breakaway. Youngman would put it in net for the Nooks. UAF would not trail from that point on. Alaska will go on to win 3-1 over Western Ontario in tonight's exhibition game. game. Sophomore Marcus Bassara, though, he had a game tonight. 2 goals to lead the Nanooks in the win. Now the UAF will go on to face Wisconsin and Maine in next week's Kendall Hockey Classic at the Sullivan Arena in Anchorage.
The undefeated Eielson Ravens took on the Barrow Whalers earlier this afternoon. The Ravens looking to keep their perfect season alive? Let's go to the field and find out. That's right, football and some snow, but not on the field. The Ravens answers with the first 6 points early in the opening quarter, with Anthony Griffith running 53 yards for a Ravens touchdown. The Whalers tried to answer back on their first possession, but turns it over on 4th down. The next drive, Ravens find Pater after Caleb Velez answers for a 20-yard touchdown run. That will give the Ravens a lead of 14-0 in just the first quarter. The Whalers still looking for their first score, and they do after the handoff to David Avalka for a 15-yard touchdown run. The Ravens won't stop adding to the score after the Whalers throws a pick six as Caleb Dunlap returns it 30 yards to make it a Ravens 27-8 ball game. The Ravens go on to win that game 61-14. With that, their record will remain perfect at 7-0. And now to wrap it up for our sportscast tonight, Katie Looper has your full weather forecast coming up next. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. So Austin, is this your first time seeing snow?
It is. You know, they kept saying snow and it just didn't click that we may get 2 inches. And when I was heading out to the game today, I had to use my four-wheel drive going up the hills and stuff, and I was kind of nervous, but it's not too bad.
No, this isn't too bad. It's a little slippery at first, but it'll get better.
Can't wait. I'm going to get my shovel, just like Mike said. Maybe a tent, just in case.
All right. Well, let's take a look at our weather now. We'll start with our almanac. There's a normal high today at 34 and a normal low at 32. Our record high was 63 in 1950 and record low of 7 in 1972. The sunrise and sunset equals 10 hours and 51 minutes of daylight, giving us a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. And we'll look around the state today. Starting with the interior, it looks like there's mid-30s for Fairbanks and mid-30s for Fort Yukon. Down on the East Coast, mid-50s for Juneau and Ketchikan with cloudy skies. In the Anchorage Bowl, it's partly cloudy at 42. Kodiak's 45 with rain. Bethel is around 38, and along with Nome at 39. And up it's a little chillier in Barrow at 27. Now let's go down, slide down onto our lower 48. It's 71 in Seattle. It's a little hotter in Vegas at 91, and Phoenix 99. And for our Midwest region, it looks like 70s in Denver and Dallas. And then as we move east in New Orleans, it's 73 and sunny. Miami sunny as well at 91. Ooh, I'm jealous. And 71 up in New York and nice on the East Coast. But let's check out our outlook for next week. Oh, it's baking dry on the West Coast, but a big cool gust is coming in and moving across the east. Lots of humidity for the southeast and milder temperatures on the East Coast. Now let's go back in Alaska. Partly cloudy in Nome and scattered snow showers for Barrow and Fort Yukon. It's 29 in Barrow, 30 in Fort Yukon, and again 30 in Nome. And now for the interior. It looks like cloudy with scattered snow showers all across the interior, 20 in Healy and Delta, and 30 in Fairbanks. Now as we move east, it looks like rain showers for Juneau and Ketchikan and temperatures in the mid-50s. Now let's go over to our west coast. Sunny skies in Kodiak, partly cloudy rain in Cold Bay, and isolated snow showers in Bethel, and looks like temperatures right there in the low 40s. And lastly, for our south central region, cloudy in Anchorage, isolated rain and snow showers for Valdez and Homer, 37 in Anchorage, and mid-40s for Homer and Valdez. Now let's check out home. It's 22 tonight with cloudy skies and some scattered snow showers. And for tomorrow's outlook, cloudy skies with scattered snow showers as well. And then for our extended outlook, It looks to be snow on Monday and cloudy on Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday it should warm up for us and be about 30 and 35 on Friday, so we have something to look forward to there. And our temperatures are in the teens for our nightly temperatures, so it's getting a little cooler.
It is, and today you was talking about the lower 48. I gotta give a shout out to my Bulldogs. They won today. They beat Texas A&M, and then Alabama got beat. So a big football glory day in the South Park.
Great.
So
And you said you're from Mississippi,
I am.
so you're pretty happy about
That's right. I'm a State fan.
Great. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up our Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Join us here 6 days a week, anytime at 6 and 11, or on webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.